who owns these record label companies, who signs a Sexy Red. You can go out and you can get any artist in the world based on their talent. Why is it that when you come to Black America, you want to platform someone like Sexy Red, when it used to be you platform people like Lauryn Hill? This is intentional. This is intentional because, as Confucius said, a Chinese philosopher said that what is in your ears will eventually be what surrounds you, right? Music is very powerful.
I heard a saying that music doesn't need an invitation to your soul.
That's a great way of saying
into it.
Yeah, and
you are who you hang out with, but if you're just listening to it all the time. And I always got confused. I could never have said it because I'm not Black. But if I had an Assyrian culture and all they did was make money off of belittling my people, I would not pay money for it. I'd be like, yo, what are you doing? You switch sides on us. Like, why would you make it out, quote, and then where you came from, why don't you come grab us and build us out? Do you ever get scared of speaking the way you speak?
No, I feel very comfortable speaking the way I speak because I'm Team God, right? Yeah, if God has you, who can be against you?
All right, so what do you think about what she's saying about Black culture, Black music, the fact that George asked her in the first place?
That was a delicate thing. I agree to the point where they do push certain kind of agendas and certain kind of music to our demographic or people in certain places. Yeah. But it's just, going back to what we just said just now, where you were saying it could be kind of harsh. It's like when you call Sexy Red out, Sexy Red can't help what she grew up at. She can't help, who she is, or, like this might be all she knew. So to come out and just name somebody like that and just say, man, that was kind of harsh. But I think what she was saying about the message and the things they're pushing to the agenda they have, it's obvious. Like, you really don't see no other race outside of Black people really promoting music that's as hazardous. Now, you got some white music that's promoting drugs and, things of that nature. But we talking about just all along violence, the sexuality, all this kind of stuff. Nobody makes music to tear down their own race, I think, like African Americans do.
We do it the best.
It's entertainment. And
we do it the best. We tear each other down.
I remember somebody bringing that point up with the Good Times animation. Yeah. They were like, there's a culture out here. There's a race of people that would never allow you to put a baby as a drug dealer and peddle it to their kids. They would never sign off on that. And I was thinking to myself, like, man, they are so right. That would be fought tooth and nail. And then the funny thing about it is, they would never have they could, but they would never have the audacity to actually try that and do that, or like try to get it through their community, because their community would shut it down. The support for it wouldn't even be there.
That's not true. I
think that's true.
There's been people who've talked about drug use.
No. We're not talking about people. I'm talking about the cartoons. Oh. Like the cartoon of a baby dealing drugs and shooting up neighborhoods and stuff like that. That to me was the part I think that really took me over the edge.
I think there's other races
different situation.
I think there's other shows by other races that do despicable stuff.
Stereotypes.
But I think they're
not asking the whole community.
No,
to back
but I think sometimes their race doesn't see it as my only way out. Mm-hmm. Whereas for us, a lot of our only way out is entertainment, the streets, or athleticism. Yeah. And I think that's what she's coming from. Like, nobody's like, trying to be a doctor, a lawyer, or anything like that. It's like it's pushed on you to be something negative. And I think that's what she gave. I know you said her name is Sexy Red, but you know what I mean? And to me, and I'm just being real, like, I think Lauryn Hill wouldn't work at this time. In my personal opinion, just the way we are in the culture.
That's my question. Is it the and I think I know the answer, but is it the labels pushing Sexy Red on us, or is it us wanting a Sexy Red? Is it the culture that is asking the labels to give them those kind of people? Yes. Or is it the labels forcing that kind of thing on us? Yeah. Whose fault is it?
I think the climate asks for Sexy Red.
It's the gatekeeper.
You get what I'm saying?
Is it the gatekeeper or the culture that's
go back to our experience, right? Our experience was, we're going to play the top 4 songs. We're going to play the top 10 songs every 4 hours, and you're going to like it, right? That was our Radio 1 experience.
But that doesn't happen now.
But I mean, I don't know. I don't listen to terrestrial radio now.
There's no other situation like that now.
I think it's a combination of both. I think so. You see how a lot of these artists, quote unquote, blow up. they'll have a song in their neighborhood or their community that's popular. They basically rapping or talking about what's going on in their neighborhood. They gain local success. When they gain that local success, the label's saying, oh, they're already making money. They got motion already. Let's pick them up and put them on a larger stage. So it's like the labels, in my mind, they see what's going on and they say, okay, let's make this even bigger so we can capitalize off of it, because obviously they have something that people want to hear. Yeah. But I also think on the flip side, the labels say, hey, this is something that people want to hear. So now you have your industry plants. Now you have people who are just putting out
this worked
stuff
for her, so we need you to be exactly like her.
We need 5 more of her.
Yeah. That's what happened
like
with Soulja Boy.
You see, now look who Trina was, and now look at the girls and what they're doing now. It's like Trina times 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Kim.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Soulja Boy came out with the Crank That, and then now we got a million dances coming out right after him.
Well, there's been always dances.
But that's my point if it didn't work locally, if the community didn't accept it themselves, would they even try to push a Sexy Red out? You see what I'm saying? Like, is the culture just
it's toxic.
Accepting wrong things in
the culture is toxic right now, and that's why I'm saying what I just said. And I think us older people be like, probably give me pushback, but I'm like, this younger generation, I mean, there's hope for them, but I think at the same time, they like toxic stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We did, but we had a balance. It was enough of a balance for us that we could be like, I don't have to listen to Kim, but I could listen to Lauren. I don't have to listen to Biggie. I could listen to Common. You know what I'm saying? It was still a balance out there where now it's not as much of a balance.
But again, I don't think it was a balance. See, a balance would be there was a NWA and then there was a cross movement. You see what I mean? That's balance. Having completely negative and then neutral is not balance. It's still tipped.
Well, for them, that is. So for what you just said, like somebody would say, "Well, I didn't listen to NWA. I listened to Public Enemy," even though it's conscious.
That's still not.
Yeah, but for them, for them, it is
in culture. Because remember, Andre, he said, "Man, they think we gospel rapping." You know what I'm saying? They're talking about crazy stuff. You want to look at a God?
To me, that's the problem.
Yeah,
the problem is that even the good stuff was bad.
Right.
But it was almost
like J. Cole. He's looked upon as conscious.
He's the good. Like, he's the good
guy, but he'll talk about some crazy stuff too.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah,
the culture has been seeded with bad things. This is just a crop of that.
But I don't think I think their version. They're looking at the people from, like we said, the Public Enemies, the Brand Nubians, and all those kind of guys were like, they're positive. They're talking about what's going on, and they're giving you a solution to it. But from us, it's like, that's not the solution. If it ain't Jesus, that's not the solution. You know what I mean? You're saying the solution is be a 5%er.
But that's the reason why we're in the situation we're in, is that it's either complete debauchery or the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Right. The debauchery. Everywhere you turn is the wrong answer.
So this question, how did it get to this point? Because if you look at songs like The Message, you know what I'm saying, when in like the 80s, when it was 70s, when hip hop came out, and they were talking about everything, like broken glass everywhere. They talking about their neighborhood, but they were just enlightening you on what's going on. How did we go from talking about the neighborhood, just giving you information, to talking about the neighborhood, glorifying how bad my neighborhood is?
Because the drug dealer became the rapper. Mm-hmm. That's what happened.
Yep.
I think in the early 80s, the Melly Mel's, all of them was talking about the society of like, we're in this bad situation. Let me tell you why we're in this bad situation. Versus going towards the 90s when Snoop, Biggie, and everybody was telling you about, or in the late 80s, telling you about the streets and how fun it was, and we did this to homeboy, and you know what I mean, like you know, and you had some people. I ain't gonna say everybody was like that. You had some people that told you the good and the bad about being in the streets, but majority of the time, the people who were getting more and more popular were just telling the street life and not telling the consequences of it.
You went from the drug dealer to now we got the drug users. So now it's cool to be popping perks.
So Crispy said, do you agree that major labels, the powers that be, platform bad artist messages intentionally? 78% said definitely. Man, we appreciate everybody. We got 142 live right now. Thank you guys for watching. If this is your first time, make sure you're subscribed. I asked last time we were here, it's like, hey, we this was when, if you look back here, we're at 61,200. This was right before we hit 60,000 2 weeks ago. And we were short like 7 people. And I was like, hey, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And it was like, it went up like by 30.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, okay, so maybe I need to say that more often. If you're not subscribed, subscribe right now. Please do that for us. Our goal is to hit 100,000 by the end of the year. So please help us do that.
Question though. So who buys the most hip hop though? Let's think about that though. Who spends their money the most on hip hop? White people.
Yeah.
So how do we look at that? So is it like they're enjoying the entertainment from us just, tearing ourselves down? That don't make you feel some kind of way?
I think they see it as, like you said, entertainment wise, like
It's like watching a movie.
yeah, it's almost like putting your headphones on and you listening to the Chronic and you're like, I'm in Compton. Oh my God, this sounds amazing. Versus like, let's go to Compton. You're like, I'm not trying to go to, you know what I mean?
But folks are dying for real. Like rappers are really dying, and they just like
just
they roll.
entertainment.
You look at Rolling Loud, you don't see no black people out there. You see Rolling Loud, you see a crowd like they're enjoying this mug. So you go back to the labels. How's a Rolling Loud happening? How are all these events happening? How is this stuff happening?
Yeah.
Like who's putting it in their hands? Because they're not coming to these neighborhoods getting this music. It's being
It's been central.
so that's why I say it's on both.
attractive.
It's both sides. Mhm.
But for them, real quick, but for them sometimes, at times, I know growing up, at back then it was just, I enjoy this music. I'm not trying to live this lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just like, this is entertainment. If I listen to this, I'm going to school and I'm going to be a doctor or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I think for them, back in the day, it wasn't a pull. Now it's maybe a little bit more pull, but